I have got to. I gotta get Vinny in gear. I tried all day, but Vinny is just hit and miss today. All right. How are you, Mr. Scottish? I see that you have subscribed for 20 months. Mercy lands. I clearly owe you a drink out of the Dalmore behind us. It's sitting right there, hasn't been opened. I finished the other bottle, but I have not touched that particular drink yet. It'll be a good day to do so. Hi everybody, it's me, Vincenzo Vichetti, and we are going to sit and talk a bit about the first part of my journey into Scotland. And I wanna wait a bit, give the crowd time to get into the arena, so to speak, because man, there's a lot of ground to cover. I was told how many steps we took from day to day, and I assure you that we walked miles upon miles upon miles. And backtracking, and it's ingrained in me now. The wonderful land of Scotland. I got it in my veins. It's in my DNA now. So, man, it was an amazing place. Really, really pretty. Look at this thing. I got to see that thing from a distance. Absolutely gorgeous. Everything in Scotland is gorgeous. I cannot say enough good things. I know folks are wanting to hear the big bump. They want to see the finish. But man, this is just a pregame. Okay? We are not going to cover everything in one stream. It's not physically possible to cover everything in one stream. So I'm going to sit here for a little bit. We're going to give it about, 10 minutes or so before I head on up the road and talk about all the things. On day one-ish of my trip to Scotland. There we go. I like it. All right. There we go. Bada bing. Yes, the shirt is fantastic. It fits great. It's nice and comfy. I haven't washed it yet. I worn it twice. Well, if you count Thanksgiving dinner and right now, it's twice. I feel like this is a good thing to wear. It's whatever it's made out of. It's very, very breathable. I have no clue what it is. I didn't look, but man, it feels good. I need some more of this. Yeah, it's just right. Matter of fact, I need to get a little bigger. That way I fill the shirt in a little better. But man, it does. It feels good. And I love the purple V. This is the best shirt ever. It looks so good. But man, there's a lot of things to unpack when it comes to this whole trip, man. I'm gonna get emotional as I often do now. I'm gonna get emotional. It's been a day. I currently have some soup on the stove, and spend. Anybody can make soup, right? But spending the wee little bit of time I spent in Scotland, I'm not afraid to try and make things better than what I normally do. I know the purple's fantastic. Uh, and you did great, brother. You did great. But I put apples. I put one apple, chopped it up, put it in with my soup, and you're like, what the hell possible soup could you be making with an apple? Um, it was basically potato, but I took pork chops that I made this morning for breakfast. I just basically took them out of the freezer, put them in the oven, frozen. Made uh, just cooked them in butter in some broth in the oven, and then I chopped them up for breakfast, meat and potatoes, and then I put fresh potatoes, and I had some onions growing outside. They're frozen, but hey, they'd be frozen in the freezer. So um, prunes. That's interesting. I would never thought of that. But I get it. It would absorb the broth. That's an interesting concept. I got you. Um, but yeah, I just dropped an apple in there because I'm like, it's got the leftover turkey. It's got these pork chops. It's got potato. I'm gonna drop an apple in there, and you can't even tell the apple's in there, man. Um, but yeah, then I added the vegetables towards the end so they wouldn't all just cook down. But it's sitting in there right now, just kind of being warm. So next couple of days we can have soup and keep ourselves nice and cozy. Um, but it is Sissy's birthday. Uh, Hopefully we get the crowd come wandering in here slowly. Uh, Love to see some sandwich in here. Uh, the kids just left to go to the thing. We had a little bitty birthday cake with a number 7 candle on top, and would you believe that Sissy actually blew her own candle out? I was thrilled. I'm sitting there going, "All right, Sissy, go," and she will, but you had to aim the candle or the cake at her face because she's not smart. Didn't have the cognitive ability to aim her mouth. So we have to aim the cake, and I'm like, "Oh," and she did. She did it the first time, and it went out. It went at the candle, and I'm like, "All right, move the cake. Do it again, Sissy," and she did, and blew the candle out, and I'm like, "Yes!" It was the first time she blew her own candle out. 7 years old, man. It doesn't feel like it's right. Yeah, yeah. Catching her was a traumatic experience. But mini Vinny, he's freaking gonna be 9 years old in a month. 1616 was his birthday. Um, it's unreal how fast time goes. So I looked at him earlier and I just gave him a big hug because it's like, man, I can't believe it. He's that big already. Um, but uh, there's there's so much going on. There's a lot going on. Uh, I got a phone call today from Itch Comowita talking about a tragic event that happened here to one of our wrestling family, and I ain't gonna repeat it because it's pretty sinister. Uh, but he's gonna be 21 in August. Good gravy, absolutely stupendous. Gonna be 21, and that's a dangerous birthday. We all know that. Those of us who've lived through it, it's a dangerous birthday. I I remember my 21st birthday, but never mind that. I get to say I was drunk in Scotland and on scotch, and nobody else can say that around me. No one can take that away from me, and I'm rather proud of that. No one else has to be. I giggled about that the whole time. I'm laying there just buzzing, and I'm going, "Oh, I am drunk in Scotland." I've had 37 21st birthdays. My mom, to this day, swears up and down she's only 30. Swears up and down she's only 30. Here I am, 45. Every birthday, she's 30. That just happens to be her personal preference. Let her go. She can have whatever she wants. I talked to her several times since I've been back, and my dad. And Dad's doing good, but you know, knock on wood here, but my dad, multiple heart attacks, and I go to Scotland, and I come back a different person. Okay, I come back completely and utterly a different human being. And then my dad's had plurality of heart attacks, and it's like a Tuesday. Ain't changed a bit. Nothing about him's changed. He doesn't have that desire to change the way he behaves, sounds, acts. None of that. No, you didn't break me, brother. You didn't break me. It's not. you did not break me. You actually saved my life, I think. I really do. I think you saved my life. Since I got back, I haven't wanted to drink, and I haven't wanted the weed. Not a single time have I wanted. I mean, I had to drink the vino to go with the turkey. Okay, that was my personal preference, and then I had to have the rest of the Dalmore for dessert. Um, Hey, Sandwich! There's my baby. How you doing? Good, good, good. I'm glad you're here. We were just no, don't worry about it. I'm a professional wrestler. I know that the doors have to open. The doors have to open at 6. Show starts at 7. Okay? You gotta sit and wait. It's part of the process. It's why I'm sitting here rambling, because we're not going to get into this story until we get a couple of bodies in here that need to hear it. Because Scottish obviously has heard the story, so telling him what I'm hoping. Scottish obviously was part of the story, so talking to him about it's like, talking to myself. So I just wait for you and whoever else wants to wander in. But as I was saying, I go to Scotland. I come back a changed human being. My dad has like 15 heart attacks, and it's Tuesday afternoon. This is a normal day, and I choose to live my life differently. Phoenix, there we go, and the crowd's coming in. Good. And I'm glad they unlocked the doors. I bet you Sandwich was out front holding the doors closed. You people can't get in here. Because I know he's waiting on you, and they're not going in here. I burst through the doors of Club Sandwich. Sandwich is out front with his foot on the door going, nope, 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 nope. All the door prizes to myself. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Phoenix, I hope you're in here for a while, baby. You're in for a treat. We're gonna have we got lots of show and tell, and there's a lot of ground to cover, man. There's a lot of ground to cover. I gotta go to work at 5. We won't be here that long. I don't know what time it is where you're at, but we ain't gonna be here that long, man. I hope. You know me, I'm long-winded. In between Scottish filling in the gaps and my long-windedness, it might be a little long. But no, we covered a lot of ground in Scotland, and absolutely gorgeous country. I can't say enough good things. But I did. I came back a completely different human being. And I'll get into that because I'm serious. There's a lot of change in me, up to and including I'm fed up with this country to the point that I'm going to leave. That is a fact, Jack. We have ruined the land for anybody. It's just like China's dumping ground. There's nothing good here anymore. So I am not interested in participating going forward. So, like I said, there's a lot of things we got to cover. But since you guys are here, I suppose I will begin down the road and see if we can get some more people in the in Club Vachette here, because I mean, like, it's a fascinating story. Um, Before we left, I got rather emotional because my father and I had discussed this vacation, and uh, I say often that my father and my dad, my grandfather, never got to go on vacation. When I was little, my grandfather was planning a vacation, and he had saved up for it, and it was ready to go. And then my grandmother dies, and he didn't get a chance to go. So he gets married a second time, and a couple years later, I don't know, I was in my teens. A couple years later, uh, he plans to go on vacation again, and I don't recall where he planned on going, but he'd saved up and he was planning on going on vacation again, and I wasn't long before he was going that his second wife died. So my grandfather never got to go on a vacation that he had planned to go on. So according to my parents, my duty and my job was to go and have the adventure and have the journey that he didn't get to have. And I feel like all the magic that happened, on this journey, and I'm going to get emotional. There's nothing I can do about it. This was the journey of a lifetime. This is what he was meant to have, and I know I did him proud. I absolutely did him proud, because man, I tell you what, everything that I wanted in this trip came to me. All right, Scottish doesn't drink. All right, this is an example. Scottish doesn't drink, but I wanted in the worst way to talk to a little old Scotsman and hear the accent and just have a conversation with a guy. And we're in the middle of a tram station at the last day, and snow on the ground and everything else. And I'm talking to Scottish about the situation, and this little old Scotsman wanders in there and just starts giving me up the road about the snow and the fact that the friggin' Scots have gotten so soft that they canceled all the buses because it's got snow on the ground and they didn't silt the roads or didn't grit the stone, as he said. And I'm just taking it all in, because this is something that I asked the universe for, and the universe brought it to my feet. That was the kind of magic that happened. Anything that I wanted to see or do came to me, and the things that didn't happen, there was a reason for it. There was a reason for it. So I not a single regret. As bad as the trip ended, I wasn't mad and I wasn't upset. I endured it, and again, we will go deep into that field as we hit the road. Now, let's start with this thing here, because it's right in front of my face. My ex-wife has gone overseas before, and she was adamant that I needed some kind of a chest bag, because pickpockets and all that, especially in the big cities. Here I am, this Yankee, wandering around the streets of Edinburgh. So I got to looking online, and I came up with this thing, which looks like something from The Shield, but it's just a chest bag. It's a place for your chest. You can put your phone in here. You got room for your documents. You got it's a place to keep all your passport, your phone. If you want to put your whole damn wallet in here, you can. I didn't do that. It's a purse. It's a man purse. We're men, manly men. We're men in tights. Yes. Okay. So I was running across the street. Well, I put a lot of things in this particular place that were important to me. Um, I put a poker chip. This poker chip. This poker chip went in this place. So this particular poker chip has been to Scotland and back. I had a second one in here for Scottish, and I gifted it to him. So he has one of the legendary original poker chips that can be found on one of my videos where I went to Denver. But I had to have it on me at all times. Um, this D20 from previous streams, my D20 went in this purse because the D20 had to go with me to go to Scotland. I wanted it to hopefully get some of that magic and make this D20 better. Mike, I got Mike Storm. Mike Storm's here. I can do the whole stream now. My life is complete. Hey, baby, thanks for dropping in. If you watch me wrestle, I do it naked. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I might just do that just for you. When I go to the ring, I wear a cross, and my grandmother gave me, and I put it in here so that it would be on the entire trip. So my passport, my money, all went in this purse. And let me tell you something. I bought it for security purposes, right? And I was in Scotland all those days. I was in the major cities. It's Merce. And not one time did I feel like I needed it. Not once did I feel like I was in a dangerous situation. Did I feel like I was in a bad place? Not one time. It was highly not needed. It was cute. It was comfy. It made you feel good about it, but it was not necessary. And was it a waste of money? Not really, because it's got purpose. But as far as actual security, it wasn't necessary at all. Scotland is very, very kind people. It was an emotional support bag. Yes, it was. Yes, it kept me from patting all of my pockets and making myself a mark. Yeah, because I kept doing this number, making sure that my shit was still hanging there. But you did. Yeah. What is it? What is it? It's a jar of dirt. Is it necessary? Well, you don't want it, give it back. And he takes it and holds it, like, then it helps. Right? That's exactly what it was. It made you feel better, therefore it helps. But it did. But it also, which also made me very, very happy, was I traveled across Scotland and I didn't lose anything. I lose my glasses every day because they're on my face. And, I'd lose my teeth if they weren't in my head. I only dropped my scarf one time. And everything else stayed with me the entire time. Didn't lose nothing. I was so proud of myself. Scottish, we'll get your redemption. We'll get your redemption for the Dalmore at the right moment. Let's let the crowd filter in. Okay, so I'm taking the trip that my grandfather didn't get to take, and I get all the way to the airport, and I get on the bus going to the terminal, and I'm already sitting there going, trying to keep myself calm because, man, I don't like planes. I don't like leaving my kids. I don't like the idea of the terrible things that can happen between A and B. And nothing really bad happened at Cincinnati. Cincinnati was good. We got an ad coming in about a minute. Cincinnati was good. I had plenty of time to sit around and gather my thoughts. I was in place. There was no panic. Uh, Rather comfortable that particular day, but uh, the flight. Oh, Daddy, I was not prepared for that much air travel. That it's hard enough to be at work for 8 hours, right? And to be stuck in a seat for 8 hours, but no inside haggis on the plane. It was British Airways, not Scottish Airways. Next time I'm gonna fly Scottish Airways. There's a phrase for that. Actually, I think it's Irish, an Irish, yeah. But anyway, and be right back. The rest of you who have subscribed, God bless you, which I think is just Scottish. um, the the plane ride over was miserable, absolutely miserable. I do not recommend it. Uh, Find a better airline, something that goes from A to B in a better fashion. Um, I flew with British Airways, and they were great on the plane. They were very very, very professional. It wasn't bad service, right? Not on the plane. The plane ride was fine. Those guys, they kept bothering you because they can't see your seatbelt when you're trying to sleep. But other than that, and I learned from Scottish, too late, that you need to buckle your seatbelt in over top of your blanket, and which is like piss thin. It was really really terrible how thin that blanket was, and the pillow. That pillow wasn't a pillow. That pillow was even a knee pad. That was a ridiculous little creature, and I despise the fact that we've gone from this really immaculate style of flying back in the '60s, all the way down to just a sad state that we have our airlines in now. Fly play really good, even with the stopover in Iceland. Fly play? I've never heard of fly play. That sounds like hold on. Yeah. I'm waiting on the ad to stop here, so we can get back to business. You got 10 seconds. Just a moment. I really don't want to open that bottle. I will, but I don't want to. All right, we're back. So, yeah, British Airways, and I've never heard of Fly Play, but it sounds like international airlines from Wish. I'm not sure that's a real safe bet. It's like going to a McDowell's somewhere, or a Carby's, or Flav and Nutsters. Let's be real careful with airlines that sound like they were invented by somebody that just got rich on Bitcoin. Okay, let's be real fucking careful here. It's international flight. You're 40,000 feet in the air. Let's not screw around with somebody that bought this airplane last week. All right, I believe you. It doesn't. Okay, no, I'm with you. Not knocking it. I'll take a sexual chocolate shake. Yeah, you guys are killing me. So yeah, the pillow wasn't even a pillow. It was like the stuffing that you get that's left over after you unbox something and then cram all the plastic and the styrofoam and shit in one little bag. That's what it was like. It was pathetic, and you know. You see pictures of air travel back in the '60s where they're getting served at full-size dinners and everyone's got enough space to can play friggin' tennis in this airplane. And here I am, with someone practically in my lap, and they give you a blanket that you can breathe through, and they give you a pillow that wouldn't even make a good maxi pad. It was ridiculous. So it was miserable, and there was no sleeping whatsoever. Um, I'm sure the food would have been good, but I was so tired. I did not want anything to do with food. Smaller planes, smaller airports in major cities are one of the ones that you pay for all the extras like food and good seating. There's always a stopover in Iceland and to help promote the country. Well, I'll look into it for future travel. I'll give it a look. See, like I said, I'm not going to knock it. You've experienced it. You had a good time. Take the man's word for it. But we finally, well, they have this screen, right, on this international flight. They had this screen, and you could watch where you were at in real time, and you could do the whole watching movies and whatever you wanted to do. You could play games. They had some new movies that hadn't even been released yet. That theater movies that you could watch, and I'm going, well, this is kind of cool, but I was not there for that. I was here to be part of the experience. So I'm playing around with the Google Map, so for lack of a better term, and watching where we're at in real time. And you get to fly over some really interesting. I flew over Canada, and didn't enjoy that at all. I'm like, man, if anything's gonna go wrong, it's gonna be over Canada. But once you get over the ocean, you start to detox. I know this doesn't make any sense to anybody but me, but you start to detox from all of the signals. Yes, everything is wrong with Canada. You are correct, sir. The man's in Canada. Let him tell the story. Or near Canada. So all the bandwidth, all the signals, all of the crap in the air here. We can't hunt beaver pelts no more. Well, it's because they shaved the beavers. There's no more pelt. All the beavers are shaved. If you can find a beaver with a pelt on it, you've won. So it is probably a silver beaver at that point. But so as I'm flying over the ocean, you're detoxing from all the stuff in the air, and I land in Heathrow, and let's just do this here. You had a silver beaver once? I bet you did. I land in Heathrow, and I get off, and I take one image of down the hallway, and it wasn't worst taste in my mouth ever. I bet. I don't want to know. It was a fascinating place to be, and I go to the loo. Hey, Mr. Rex Stock, my friend, welcome to the party. This is a friend of mine who's traveled from Mr. Sandwich. As far as I can tell, this is where I met Mr. Stock. Was at Sandwich's place, Club Sandwich. We hang out. I sat on his stream the other night and watched him fight with his issues. Welcome to the party. Come on in, have a seat. You haven't missed a thing. We're one image in. You haven't missed a thing. Pull up a chair, get yourself some cocoa, baby. We got a lot of ground to cover. So I go to the loo at Heathrow, and the toilet's square, and I'm looking at this thing going, why is the toilet square? I don't understand why the toilet's square. So I do my business. I go up the road. I go to this big board where I'm looking for my flight. I'm looking for what terminal I need to go to. Yada yada yada. And there's a guy standing there who I'm hoping speaks English, right? And I look at the board and I go, man, it would help if I could read. And he just kind of laughs at me and he goes, where you headed? And I said, I'm headed to Edinburgh. And he goes, I'm going to Bologna. And he goes, you know where you're going? And I said, I'm looking for the flight. I find the flight number. I said, well, we're looking in this direction. Imagine how you look in the toilet and your poops are square too. You know, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm taking Minecraft poops over here. You know, it's like Lincoln Logs. So I I hook up with this guy, and he's like, he flags down someone with a vest on. She starts taking us in the right direction, because you can't get, you know, these friggin' airports, Lincoln Cubes. How was your hookup? That's not what we meant. I meant we convoyed. Is that a better term? Convoyed. Not quite, Mikey. Not quite. We convoyed with this, I don't know which religion she was. She was wearing a scarf. She was a little woman. She was very polite. And, you know, she guided us in the right direction. We had to take one of those underground trams, you know, like you find in Denver, very, very fast. I was familiar with this creature. And you know, he was keeping me calm, because I'm like, you know, not really freaking out, but I'm going, man, I don't make this flight, I don't know what I'm going to do. So she gets us to where we need to go, passes us off to the next place, and he walks us up to where we are. People that wear scarves in the UK are known as football hooligans. Yes, no, she wasn't a hooligan. She was some kind of, I don't think she was Muslim, but she was some sort of religious sect. But anyhow, he's like, this is international, this is domestic, you're going domestic. So I go in the domestic line, and I'm following the people who were going in the same direction I was. And I don't think they were going in exactly the same place. And she scans my passport and nothing. Or my ticket, and I get nothing. And she says, you got to go over here and talk to this woman. So I go over here, and she says, you've missed the opportunity for that flight. And I just stood there, and I went, well, you know, I got here as fast as I could. I did what I could, and yes, I was toast. I was toast right there. And she goes, that's okay. We'll get you rerouted. They're constantly going to Edinburgh all the time. And I said, well, my feelings aren't hurt, because I wanted to have tea in London anyway. How many people could say that they had tea in London? And she kind of smirks at me, and she fixes up my ticket, and then she prints off a voucher for £10. And she hands it to me, and she says, go ahead and take this, go upstairs, get you a drink on me. Cool. I'm not sure what I needed £10 for, but fair enough. I go, you know, through all the security and all the things, and I get to where I need to be. Now listen, I have a huge problem. Drink ticket. I don't have the cool stuff that Sandwich does around here yet, Mr. Stark. I don't. I'm running off of a laptop. I don't have the great big beautiful tower, you know. So in London, drinks cost 15 quid. Yeah, she gave me a drink ticket. She did. So I have a problem with the mall, the what do they call it, the duty-free market. I got a problem with this thing from the word go. All right, you're getting through security. Now you're inside this gloriously expensive, bright, shiny, overpriced, overstuffed, just BS market. And all you want to do is get to your friggin' terminal. But you got to snake your way through the Mall of America. You know, you got to go traipsing through the East Island Trading Company. Okay? Don't call me duty! free. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's no free duty. All the duty here is expensive. Duty free. So we're gonna mock it up 50%. So why the hell do I have to wander through this thing? I want a straight shot to where I'm going. I don't want to meander. I don't want to browse. We are at a rush. We have deadlines to meet. We have connections to make, and they create a maze. And you're going to tell me, well, it's not really a maze. It's just a path that goes like this. It just snakes its way through. I don't need that. I need to go from here to here. Period. End of conversation. I got things to do. I got places to be. And yes, it's very interesting. Yes, it's very cool to see stuff from other countries. I'm with you. But I don't need it between me and my next flight. So, and then, you gotta panic the entire time you buy something, because if you're not traveling with a giant suitcase, you can't carry something that's, that big on your carry-on. You can't do this. So, anyway, I finally get through all that, and I get to the actual terminal where the connections can be made. And, very elegant restaurants, very nice looking place. And I go upstairs towards the direction I need to go in, and there's this nice little market there. I think it was called Giraffe, is what I told Scottish. And by the way, fellas, I know Scottish's real name. I know Scottish's background. I know where Scottish lives. I know more about Scottish than you people will ever know. And I'm going to hold it above your head every single day of my life, okay? I know the man personally. I don't need to hear squat from you. So, I got the inside kayfabe on that. I'm proud. But anyway, I go up and I go to this Giraffe place, and they're like, you must wait for a table. And I go, listen, I just want to sit and have a drink. Can I have a drink at the bar? Can I have a drink? Have a drink at the bar? And Sandwich, we'll go over Mr. Tiger here in a minute, because there's a funny story behind that. So I get just Tiger. Mr. Tiger was my father's name. So I go up to the bar, and there's this great big tall Indian, and I do mean Indian. I mean like, India Indian, right? Not the dot, not the feather, right? So, and I told him, I said, listen, I just want to have a cup of tea. I don't need alcohol. I'm just here to sit down and have a cup of tea. And he hooks me up, and he goes, you want milk? Or what do you want? And I said, well, I want it whatever traditionally goes in this thing. He said, well, most people have milk. So give me the milk. And then I asked him if he had any honey, because at the time I'm still, back in the States, and I don't do sugar. I forget where I'm at, right? And they don't have processed sugar here. They got friggin' sugar. So I go and I get the honey, and he brings me a little jar of honey. And I wish I'd known then, what I didn't click until later, that when they open that jar is trash, okay? That little jar they give you, the little marmalade bullshit jar, right, the little bitty, it gets opened, it's done. They're not going to reuse it. So I felt a little bad about that. But I sweetened my tea right here, and it was fantastic. It was my first tea during the trip, and I enjoyed it. I can't say enough good things. I sat there and I smirked, and I took a picture for you guys. And at the end of the drink, I walked down to where the guy's making whatever he's making, and I handed him $1, and I said, "Listen, I haven't got my money exchanged yet. Here's $1. Thank you for your time," and went about my way. So, I get on to the next flight, which is just a puddle jumper technically from Heathrow to Edinburgh, and I'm on the plane, and I get on against the window here, and a rather hefty woman gets on next to me, and I didn't even see the old man that sat down next to her. I wasn't paying any attention because I'm looking out the window and I'm tired and I'm trying to focus, and um uh I heard her accent, and I'm like, this lady's clearly Scottish, and plane takes off, and I heard her talking about something, and as we get closer and closer to landing, I got ballsy, and I looked over at it, and I said, "You guys are locals, yeah?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I says, "This is my first time out of the States, and I'm headed this direction." And we talked for a little bit. They were from Dundee, which is due east of Perth, and as we're landing, I'm asking questions because that's not a knife. This is a knife. I'm asking questions because I'm looking out the window, and as soon as we cleared the clouds, and this is what I see. It's miles upon miles of gorgeous, and I'm staring at it, and I'm going, "What am I looking at?" It's just rolling hills like this as far as the eye can see, and I'm like, "What is this?" And the more I looked, the more questions I had, because there's snow, but there's not snow, and I don't understand what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this farmland and how sparse any kind of buildings are. It's farmland, miles and miles of farmland, and these patches of black, right? So I nudged the lady and I said, "Hey, this black that I'm seeing, because my eyes aren't that great." I said, "This black I'm seeing, it's forests, I'm guessing." And she just kind of shrugged. She goes, "More than likely," and it turns out, and look how gorgeous this is. Nice little lock down there. It turns out that the majority of the black is farmland, um, because they till the soil like they did in the old days. They don't put pesticides and whatnot. So what happens is you at the end, instead of going fallow, or instead of planting just a random ass crop, they during the wintertime they till the soil over, and it's as black as night, man. I just stared at it. I was in amazement. They till it over, so in the wintertime, all of the insects are killed. And that prevents you from having to spray pesticides. It kills all the bugs, and it keeps the soil pure. And man, it was the most amazing experience. I took this picture because the first thought in my head is, man, look at all those Harry Potter houses. That looks like Harry Potter's neighborhood. I'm looking down the barrel of this thing going, man, this is cool. This is cool. I like it. I'm excited. And sure enough, oh God. So I land. I go meandering through the Edinburgh airport that I did not know at the time I was going to be imprisoned later on in my stay. I was imprisoned. It was wonderful. I'm trudging my way through, and I got a toboggan on because I know it's going to be cold where I'm going, but I don't possess. I didn't travel with much. I traveled light. Most of my bags were empty. I traveled very light because I was going to stuff it full of goodies. Right? I'm not going to take anything. I have one pair of pants, and it's on my ass when I land the ground. Okay, I only packed one pair of pants. I had planned on buying more. Didn't really have time. I had planned on purchasing more things. I didn't have the space, and I didn't have the time. I had socks to change socks. I had underwear to change underwear. I had just enough shirts to get me through the trip. Hey, oh, boo. I need a Marky. Marky, where you at? Who wants to be my mod today? Hey, somebody raise the hand. I'll give you mod status if I can figure out which button to push. So I do it myself, but there it is. That was me. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. So I did. I traveled with just enough material to get me from A to B. I don't plan on staying longer. I don't plan on needing more. I got just enough to survive. The shoes on my feet, the pants on my ass, and the hat on my head. And I got a backpack and my luggage, and that's it. Okay? I didn't check anything. Man, it's light duty. So I get through the airport. I run into this guy. Who's wearing the mask on his face, and I know exactly who I'm looking at, and he's looking past me. I swear to God, he's looking past me because he's looking for a bald guy. And I snuck right up on him, and I'm like, "Has this been your companion the whole time?" You know? And he's like, "Yep." And I shake his hand, and out the doors we go. You know, because he's got this cart. He's got this cart full of goodies. His luggage and an extra bag that I didn't know was mine. So he drags me out the door. We go traveling out into the street, and we go to where the buses are. And sure enough, it's a double-decker bus. And instantly, I'm popping because I'm on the night bus. I'm getting on the night bus. I'm on the night bus. So I look into this thing. I'm excited, right? And the driver is in a booth that's got a window in it. And saying the Scottish, he hands me a handful of coins. A handful of coins. He hands me a handful of coins. And he says, ask for a return. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I go up there and I put all my coins in the slot and it all fall through. It counts it. It counts it as, it's like a cluster. The damn gap in this thing was like this. It counts the coins, gives me a return ticket that I didn't know later I wasn't going to get to use. And I go about putting my baggage up, So here comes Scottish, and I help it right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, sir. I help him stack the luggage real quick, and then he looks at me. He's got this bag in his hand. He looks at me, and he says, where you want to sit? And I looked at him, and I'm like, looking at the stairs, and he's like, all right, we're going to go up. And, there's circumstances that I can't repeat. But let's just say it was a dick move. It was a dick move to make the man go upstairs. So we go up the stairs, and I sit down, and I start taking pictures almost immediately because once we got out of the airport area, we're on the street, and I'm talking to him about, the left-hand side of the street, driving, and yada, yada, yada. I look up and realize just how beautiful everything is. And I'm like, Scottish, these houses are all stone. He's like, yeah, everything's stone here. And the hedgerows and the stone houses and the beautiful churches and the Harry Potter smokestacks. And I'm going, man, this is freaking awesome. So I start taking pictures, and you look at these houses, and I took so many pictures, dude, it's ridiculous. But you look at the houses, you look at this church, and I'm going, man, look at this. And this is the first picture of the whole trip, and I'm like, this is wild. So here is my buddy Scottish, who again I cannot say his name. He's sitting there just watching me be a tourist all of a sudden. I didn't want to be a tourist. But here's this school back here. It looks like friggin' Hogwarts. And I'm looking at this going, look, the school's got copper freaking domes. It's a school. I want to go to school there. I want to send my kid to this school. Let's go. But this is a better picture. And the Scottish oaks, right? These gorgeous Thank you very much, my friend. Um, these gorgeous Scottish oaks, the twisting branches, you know, and whatever other trees are. It's just the most beautiful. Everything's just gorgeous. I'm flabbergasted already, and this is just me on the bus going to get downtown Edinburgh. And guys, every single road. Now, granted, there's a little bit of tar up here, okay, but every single road in Scotland looks ish like this. It's brick. Follow the brick road everywhere. I'm staring at it going, there's a couple places that I've been to in my life that have brick roads. Where my grandfather's from in Massillon, Ohio, this is the road. Of course, it's red where he's at, but this is where he was. This is the road, and I'm going, man, this is cool. I want to see more roads like this. Turns out they're all like this. And look at the I got an ad break coming up, so I'm going to pause. But just look at this church in the background and these houses. You know, there's nothing in this state that looks this nice. Nothing. You got to go to a really high class part of town to see anything even half as good, and it's probably made out of wood, you know, and plastic. And every single place you go to is gorgeous like this. So, you know, we got a minute and a half of the ad break. I'm going to get the Dalmore off this and move it over here because it needs to be closer to my heart. I'm going to hold this. I'm going to hold this right here. Yeah, this cute little thing here. My buddy. This is my new buddy. My emotional support, Scotch. You leave me alone. Man, it's even got it. It's all in in UK measurements. All in you. I'm not gonna throw this bottle away. Of all the things I've thrown away here the last couple of days, this bottle stays with me. Okay, it ain't going nowhere. It's mine. I will hold on to this as long as I possibly can. I love it. I absolutely love it. So this is my emotional support, Scotch. I'm going to put him right here. God bless him. Post Malone and Jelly Roll on tour. According to this ad, you know, I could give two bleeps less about either one of them. I realize that celebrities are with the I just don't care about celebrities anymore. So, all right, welcome back. Here's my if Mike Storm is still here. Here's my emotional support, Scotch. I want to keep him right here next to my heart. So yes, look at you know just how pretty the scenery is, and we're not even there yet. We're still outside of town. Here's one of these trams. It's, you know, for those who don't venture outside of their county, let alone state, let alone, you know, territory. This is a tram. It's like a brother, I'll buy you a plane ticket. You can come over here to the corn country, and we'll go waddling through until we find the little white-haired children with the black eyes. It'll be great. So it's like a bus / train, but it's electric. Let's find the Mothman. I'm with you. He's back there. He's back there. He's very cozy. This is a more modern version, but clearly it's got wheels. Well, no, it's not got wheels. The one we went through in Edinburgh was on a rail, but you know it's electric. Okay, so this is the system that they use, and I was taking pictures because we kept telling Scottish. I kept telling Scottish, I'm not taking pictures because I'm a tourist. If I don't take pictures for my mother, I am never going to hear the end of this. So, and I still haven't shown her the pictures. She's not mad, but they're coming. Okay, I got to put them on the Facebook. This round of pictures will go on the Facebook. Okay, look at this church. Look at this church. The architecture. It's a giant tower, and it's just immaculate. And you can't help but just sit there with your mouth open, going, "What do you mean we can't recreate this?" And I think that's a castle in the background, actually. What do you mean we can't recreate this? This is gorgeous. So yeah, here you are. Here is the castle of Edinburgh. It is everywhere you look is beautiful. You just sit there. You just sit there with your mouth open, and you're going, my God. And no matter which angle that you look at it, it's friggin' gorgeous. And there's the night bus. Moana. There's the night bus. We're up here on the second level, but I had to take a picture of the night bus for you guys. Oh, Moana. Okay, all right. One of these pictures belongs to Scottish. She said it to me, but this is mine. I want you to look at this and tell me what you see. Well, Benny, clearly we see a Ferris wheel. It is not a Roy Wayne Ferris wheel. All right, this is a Ferris wheel. Bonus points if you know who that is. So I look at Scottish and I'm going, excuse me, what is going on? And he tells me that there's a festival going on. And he told me which one it was, and I, since then I've been drunk. But a Ferris wheel at the end of November. And I look at this and I'm going, wait a minute. Wait, time out. And so this festival's going on. And here is another piece of gorgeous architecture. I believe this is the William Wallace Monument. And I can't stop looking at this. I have a couple of these. I can't stop looking at this because it's like Diablo. Diablo has appeared in the middle of Edinburgh. That's what I see. And it's Walter Scott Monument. Thank you. The Walter Scott Monument. And you see this right here? These are people that are on a ride that are wearing school uniforms that have skirts. I'm sure there was a couple of kilts out there someplace. And they're on a ride in a sky on a swing in the middle of winter. You're trying to tell me that Americans can't handle cold while the Scots are having a swing through the 32-degree air in the middle of winter. And I'm seriously impressed. I'm seriously impressed. Here is the ride. All right. I've got sensitive skin. Well, put some lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose again. Okay, look. So they're on this ride. And I'm just like super duper impressed. I just kept saying, these people are different. They're different. They're tough. They're hardy. They're real. I want to be part of these people. Here's the Scottish picture of the Ferris wheel. He sent this to me, so I made it part of the slideshow here. Look at that. This festival going on down Prince's Street. I can't explain to you how impressed I was. It's a very good photo. Yes, it is. I can't express to you how impressed I was. It was amazing. Here's the other picture. I took this picture because it's purple. I gotta take a picture of the purple thing. It's purple. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look. Hey, and it goes up into this, and it's Diablo. It gives off this most sinister Diablo vibes that I have ever seen. And I just couldn't stop looking at it. Everywhere you look, the gargoyles, the architecture, the finest details. You're entranced by how beautiful it is. And yeah, they're having this festival these guys are wearing scarves and beanie boggins and everything else. So I want you to remember the fact that when we got on the night bus, Scottish hands me a bag. He hands me this bag. All right, it's this JCB. It's got a gazillion pouches. It's got a padded back so you don't get tired of carrying it. You got zippers for days. You got straps for days. You got places to put your water, your food. It's a gorgeous bag. All right, I'm carrying mine. A stupid thing I bought on the Amazon. It's leather. It's pretty. It's got zippers. It's got enough. It's got enough for me. I was trying to travel light. And it's got a place. I love this. This strap here turns me on because it goes on the back of your roll around bag, and it stays vertical. And I fucking love this strap. But so he hands me this bag because he goes. I said I was cold. Okay. What the hell is that thing? Next I said vertical. He hands me I said I was cold. He goes, well, you never know what's in that bag. And because I didn't want to open it. I didn't want to open it and at that point because I'm absorbing what's around me. I didn't want to miss anything. And I didn't want to, just rudely sift through it on the bus. I wanted to experience what was going on. So I look at him, because I was talking about getting, the gear I needed in the morning. And he just casually looks at me and he says, well, you never know what's in that bag. And I'm going, you rotten son of a bitch. So I reach in the bag, in the cold, and in this bag is a toboggan, and it's from Calvin Klein Golf, and it's this beautiful dark purple color. I don't think it really does it justice in the cam. This beautiful dark purple color. It's got this neat little Harry Potter Hogwarts colored bowl on top, and I switch hats. Because it's like, nope, he got this to me. I'm putting this thing on right now. And I go up the road, Eric Cartman style. You guys suck. Fuck you guys, I'm going home. It's a pom-pom. It's a pom-pom, you filthy yank. Yeah, I know it's a pom-pom. But, the Canadians made it famous with the whole South Park BS. So here's my hat, and I'm like in love with the thing. I'm like, don't put this thing down. I never saw my toboggan again. It ended up in the laundry. And then these are not the gloves he bought me, all right? But they're the same pattern. I will debut my gloves that he bought me later. They are actually in the refrigerator. And you're looking at me going, Benny, why are your gloves in the refrigerator? It's a long story. Well, the next stream will cover it, okay? Right now, this is the same pattern he bought me. This is not the gloves he bought me, but it's the same sort of creature. And I, I have gloves now. It came out of the bag. And then this guy here. I got a scarf from Scottish. So I put the scarf on, and I'm like, I gotta figure out how to put it on because I'm gonna strangle myself. I'm gonna Sicilian strangle myself. And he's like, well, when you turn blue, you know you got it too tight. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. So here I am running down the streets of Edinburgh, feeling like I belong. I'm like, I'm part of the team now. I look like everybody else. No filthy Yank here, except for the fact that I'm wearing a Great Wolf Lodge shirt, and there ain't a person anywhere near me that knows what the hell that is. So, it was my hoodie, my Great Wolf Lodge hoodie. So yeah, I'm finally warm walking down the streets of Edinburgh, and I'm in love because I'm like, the man bought me gear. When I told him I was going to buy gear, he bought me gear, and it was wonderful. It did. It melted my heart. I was so grateful. There were beautiful gifts. Beautiful gifts. So after we get this is after we found the hotel. All right, I'm just gonna leave this up here so you guys have something to look at. He is a legend. He is an absolute legend, and don't you people ever forget it. I'm actually gonna pass his name down to my kids to tell my grandkids. This guy's name stays in the record book. So, let me tell the story about the hotels real quick. I'm giving you this to look at because this is gorgeous. Okay, so we're headed down Princess Street, and Scottish is directing me down, and it was still daylight for a while, and it started to get dark as we neared the end of Princess Street, and we put eyes on where his hotel room is. I'm like, hey, there it is right there. And he's like, okay, cool. Now, we need to find yours. And I'm like, well, it's to the south because it's right around this curve, down this side. I think it's one street over. And I walked past it because I wasn't paying. Okay, not my fault. In the land of Scott, they don't have street signs. They don't have a lot of things. They don't have power lines. They don't have things clogging up the landscape. They don't have unnecessary crap. You have to find what you're looking for the old-fashioned way by following the numbers and finding the sign on the wall. And based on where I booked, there was a picture that was on the building that had the Edinburgh 9 on the placard, but it was jutting out from the wall. So here I am looking for this sign, and I can't find it. And I'm running Scottish ragged, up the road, and everywhere we went was brick. Everything was nice and stoic, and it was just really cool to look at. But I'm trying to get I don't have a signal, and Scottish doesn't either. So we're doing this the old-fashioned way. Planes, trains, and automobiles. We're doing this the old-fashioned way. And so I'm doing it by feel. I'm like, Scottish, this is the corner of the castle. This is the side that I remember on the Google Maps. This is the side. We'd gone down too far, and we'd gone one street too far. So when we came back in the direction, I'm like, dude, let's just get you to your hotel, and I'll fight the thing myself. I remembered taking pictures of my itinerary on my phone, so I at least had the address. And there it is, staring me in the face. And I'm like, dude, this is the street, but we got to find 9. So I go walking up there, and I had come to a Roman numeral, and the Yankee got his freaking his IX and his XI backwards, and I knock on the door. And this sweet little old Scot comes out the door. She says, I told her what the situation was. I told her what we're looking for, and she says, "Oh, you're looking for that?" And she goes, "It's 2 houses down." And so I got to go down here. She goes, open the latch, push the button. The manager will be with you shortly. She goes, "That's it. You're all sorted." And back in the house she went, just the sweetest little woman. And, it was very nice of her. So, we ring the door. I tell the manager who I am, where I'm at. And I said, "I've never got a key. I don't know who to talk to. And I don't have a code to get in this place." And, he explains how do we get in. And we go in. Or I go in, put my stuff down, get what I need, and take him back to his hotel. This is where the tiger thing... No, that was the next night. Anyway, we get into his hotel. I get him, and here's the kick in the dick. There's no lift. It's stairs all the way up. And I'm going, son of a bitch. I've already run the guy all over Edinburgh trying to find his hotel, trying to find my hotel. And now he's got to walk up a flight of stairs. And I'm like, son of a... Damn it, Vinny. So I help the man get his baggage up to the room. We get him in. We put everything down. We feed it back the other way. And he looks at me and he says, "What do you want to eat?" And I'm like, "Man, this place right here, I've seen shirts, I've seen bags, and clearly it's popular. Let's go over here and eat at this." It's like an Asian fusion sort of restaurant, kind of Thai, kind of Japanese, kind of, And I'm like, "Man, you've eaten here before. It's got shit here you can eat. Let's go eat." Because Sky's is allergic. Oh, well, yeah, he says that. Sky's is allergic to shellfish and fish. All right, so you have to make accommodations for a guy who can't get anywhere near a Wagamama. Thank you, sir. You got to make accommodations for a guy who can't get anywhere near a single bit of seafood. So we sit down, and these people are clearly very young. They're clearly understaffed, and they're clearly busy. So there's no point in getting bent out of shape over poor service. You pick up and you move on. So we order some appetizers, which came after the freaking meal, by the way. He had to have special dispensation for his meal to keep him clear of any kind of contamination. So his meal came much later. I knocked mine out pretty easy. It was a chicken curry dish, big wad of rice. It was immaculate. I'm not gonna. We didn't take any pictures at this because it was kind of commercial, but we were also. I didn't want to get too touristy. He and I having our first meal together. I'm not taking my phone out. Not doing it. But anyway, I don't even think I was drinking at this point. Yeah, I did. I had one of their drinks off the menu, and it was good, but it was teeny. It's teeny. So I ordered he ordered a bao. It was it's a Japanese roll that's stuffed with goodies. He had the Korean barbecue. Yeah, I had a margarita. Yeah, the spicy margarita sort of thing. And it was just tiny. I was disappointed in how little it was. The bao was well, here's what happened was he ordered the food. And Scottish isn't much of an eater. I'm an American. I can plow food for days. He isn't much of an eater. And I'm like, dude, order whatever you want, whatever your heart's content. I'm buying. This is what we do here. And so the man orders what he can eat. He looks at me and he says, "Man, I'm not going to get through this. You go ahead and eat the bao." Because the bao came out way, way late. And I didn't get the one I ordered because somehow in the conversation between his allergy and what we were going to share, they missed what I asked for. So he told me to go ahead and eat and try it. So, man, it was good. It 5-star good. Totally will do this again. But I'm going to do it in larger portions. It's like, I'll take 3 of these. I'm going to take 4 of those. and bring me 8 of whatever the hell's in this glass because I wanted to fill the glass up. So anyway, you know, they were good people. They were very polite and friendly, and clearly they were not used. Either they weren't used to that kind of experience from a customer with that many problems, or they were seriously abused people, because we were just like, you know, step to step to step, let's have the check, we're ready to go. And the last thing they said to us was, you guys have been a treat. And it's like, we're just being us. We're very polite, we're very kind, we're very grateful. Thank you for filling our bellies, we're hitting the road. So we leave the restaurant. And he's like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, well, you know, we can walk back down this way and see the sights. And I'm taking it all in. I mean, the storefronts are just so beautiful. Holy moly! Yes, I forgot all about that. Holly and Ollie. That was so funny because this is Holly and this is Ollie. And they were 2 different people. You know, this is the manager and this is our server. And I, like, what are the odds? What are the odds? Did they make this crap up? You know, is the guy behind the counter, is that Jolly? Okay, he didn't look very happy. You know, I must be Folly because I'm the mistake here. So, we head on down the road and I'm looking, I mean, it's like downtown Chinatown. I cannot express to you people enough. All right, I cannot express to you people enough. When the lights are on and the sun is out, daytime Edinburgh and nighttime Edinburgh are 2 different creatures who live in the same body. I did not realize I was in the same place when the lights came on. I didn't. I knew where I was, and I got to Scottish no problem, but it's not the same place. And it's scary because you've all been in the video game where you load in and you load out, you know, and you load into an area and it's like this, and you load out and you come back into an area and it's like decimated and it's a different freaking world. Man, it's what it was. So it's like downtown Chinatown. Everything's bright and pretty, and you don't even see an old city anymore. You see this bustling hub of just commerce, and you know, there's everything from massage parlors right on down to sushi shops, right? You know, to your tea. You have your evening tea places. You have your high dining. Man, it is the coolest fucking place I've ever been. So we walk down the street a bit, and I'm doing my picture thing. And he says, "You want to go down into down here into the festival?" And I'm like, "Sure, if you're up for it, let's go." So I'm walking through what, you know, to me is a fall festival. It only happens, you know, very rarely in October. And it's not coldish in October. At these festivals, it's still kind of warm. And, you know, you got games, you got alcohol. You got, we're down in the Princess Street Gardens, and you have activity going on in the middle of the night, family friendly activity, by the way. So I'm telling stories, he's telling stories, the man is a constant walking book of knowledge. He is throwing data at me, and I'm just taking it in. It's much like playing a video game and you click the X button and it gives you a brief description of what you're looking at. That brief description, my ass. This guy is giving me all the data he could spit out, and it is the coolest experience. So we walk down to the garden, and here's this water fountain, and I can't with this thing. I stared at it for a good few minutes. The beauty. I'm like, hey, look, it's the Harry Potter bathroom. It's how do how do you process this thing? You can't. I got an ad starting in a minute. You can't. You just look at it, and then over top the shoulder of this fountain is the castle. That's the castle. This is this fountain down at the bottom of this mountain. In the middle of this garden is this fountain that is absolutely the most amazing creature. And you're going, I have left the planet Earth and I have arrived somewhere that I don't belong. Here is, I think this is Scottish's image, actually, from his phone, from his vantage point. A little bit nicer of a camera because, the man buys nice things. I, on the other hand, am garbage. So, yeah. Oh, dude, it was cool to look at. I do. And they say we can't recreate this. We can't recreate stuff like that. How did they build it in the first place? Hammers and chisels. And we got Dremels and 3D printing, and we can't do this. Somebody's lying somewhere. I mean, look at the detail in this thing. And you're telling me we can't do that now? Get bent. It is wondrous to look at. Everything. I'm gonna let the ad go. Probably could 3D print one. Yes, it'd be a big 3D printer. But yeah. So when the ad goes, we'll let the ad go. But I could not tell you. I don't think there's enough skilled people who can do that kind of work anymore. I'm sure. I mean, we need more Michelangelos and Leonardos, and not talking about Ninja Turtles either. We need more people. But here's the difference between then and now is that they had the freedom to choose to do this sort of work. Okay? The cost would be astronomical. Maybe so. But people are not free. I know. Ads are part of the game. Ninja blender. I've got one. Air fryers are poison. You don't want to do that. But I do have a Ninja blender. I had to have one. I don't know why I had to have one, but I had to have one. Okay, welcome back. Sorry for all that. It's just part of the game. Yeah, don't go into the air fryers. Air fryers are poison. The metal they use is not good for your food. The blender, however, I own a Ninja blender, but welcome back. The Ninja blender is good. The air fryers are poison. Don't do that. But no, people are no longer free to master the craft of something like this. Whereas someone like a Leonardo da Vinci had all kinds of time to master their craft, to master the art forms, to spend every waking hour getting better and better and better at what they do, and they learn from people who were also masters, and they pass this knowledge down to the point where where when the whether it's the serfdom or basically enslavement for wages became a thing. You're no longer allowed to do what it is that you want to do. So, yeah, look at that castle. Look at that castle. Just beautiful. On this huge, they call it a crag, right? They call it a crag. it's a defense mechanism. You have, I believe, I want to say Kragan is what I said. I heard, I said like what they said, but it's crags on so many sides, and then there's a tail. To find a location like that was key because you only have one way up. You can't assault the castle from any other way but down that tail. And the dragon's tail is where all the fighting happened. So yeah. And then there's this stuff. They had monuments like this all over Scotland. Celtic crosses, man, oh man, everywhere you went was just endless beauty, endless amounts of beauty, and I loved it. I love looking at. I mean, the towers, everything was just so beautiful. So then I get to my hotel. Here's my bag. Here's my new gear. Right. This is actually not a hotel. It's a flat. It's someone's house that they convert into a place to stay. They rent it out. I'm sure everyone's making good money on this stuff. I had to show people. Yes, I realize this is a toaster. I'm not showing you the toaster. I had to show everybody what I meant about the different kinds of plugs. This prong goes into that slot. And I had to share with you guys that it's not like you just, come and go as you please from territory to territory. This is Europe, a different kind of thing. These are switches, and the switches control the plugs. Now, you turn the switch off so there's not power going to the plug for safety and the waste of electricity. But everything's got switches, so even if you got it plugged in, you can turn it off and, just leave it plugged in. And there's no power going to it, so you're not wasting energy with it just rolling through. You know what I'm saying? And then I got a fun story to talk about the heat in this place. Here is my cup of tea that I was having in the morning the next day. These kettles, brother, these kettles will boil your water faster than you can fill the damn kettle up. You turn that thing on, and it's got. I just got a Ninja kettle. Teenage Mutant Ninja Kettle. The water boils like really fast, and I have got to get one because these things are better than you can't even pour water in a pot as fast as this thing boils water. All of them were like that. But I had me some Earl Grey all by my lonesome. Had some sweet biscuits. It was a chocolate chip biscuit, not a dog biscuit, not an American biscuit and gravy. It was a friggin' cookie. Yes, those things are amazing. I had some cookies while I was standing there. They don't have open face ovens. This is convection. No. The hell's that called? The glass top stove top here and an oven. There's no microwaves. There was no microwaves no matter where I went. I didn't see a microwave. They don't do that over there apparently. Maybe if they do, it's few and far between, but everything's handmade, everything's hand cooked, and microwaving changes the molecular structure of your food so it's not as nutritious. And I'm just impressed with everything the Scottish people do. This was a picture in my room of the whole Castle of Edinburgh. Now you make popcorn on the stove. I do it all the time. I'm going to do it right now. Matter of fact, I might just do that this evening. Gordon Ramsay destroyed all of microwave. It doesn't surprise me, not one bit. But this was a picture of the gardens and the whole of this side of the mountain, the crags from from this guy's picture. And it was some kind of a cloth design, clearly, but it was very, very pretty. He's looked at a picture of it. All right, so we get up the next day. And I check, okay, we get up. Oh, no. Back up. All right, so let's go to warmth. I was cold because I'm an American and I'm a pansy. And I wanted to warm the room up. And I couldn't figure out how to get these radiators on the wall to go up. So I go over to the wall. I find the little magic dial and I turn it up. And it works. And I'm like, cool. So I walk away. 5 minutes later, it shuts off. And I'm going. So I march back over and I go touch the thing and I'm locked out of it. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So, he turned it up a little bit, but not enough. I'm an American. I like my comfort. It's cold in this room. I gotta buy a space heater for this thing because, man, it's cold in here. The windows suck. So I go to the bathroom, and there's a little dial on the outside of the bathroom. By the way, all the switches are on the outside of the bathroom. So you turn the light on before you even go in. Okay? I can't tell you how far advanced they are compared to how stupid we are here in the States. So I turn the dial up, and it says on the side, turn off when not in use. You'd have trust issues. Well, that would be the company you keep, not my problem. So I turned the dial up thinking it's some kind of a heater that goes on the inside of the bathroom. We got some of those around here. And I walk, it's my emotional support switch. I walk into the bathroom and the floor is hot. The stones in the floor are hot. And I'm going, this is really advanced shit. So I go back out, and no, there wasn't a sizzle, but I turn it back down a little bit, and I'm going, this is super duper cool. I go back in the bathroom, and I'm gathering my things, with a square toilet. I'm gathering my things for a shower, and because I think, if I can't be warm, at least I can do is be clean. And there's this rack on the wall that I will show later. Okay, I will show these things later. I'm cutting this particular stream as tight as I can cut it as far as imagery. But there's a rack on the wall, and it's this silver metal, and it's got this digital readout on the side, and I'm staring at it going, what the hell is... I think maybe it's another room warming device, and I just leave it alone. I go get a shower, and it's the rain. Everywhere I went, they had the rain shower. Okay, I would love to have a rain shower in my bathroom, but I'm in America where we got to get spit on like it's the 1920s. And I'm enjoying the experience of getting a shower from the rain. Dude, if there's one thing I gotta have in the future, it's one of those. And so I get my shower, I get out, I dry off, I go about my business. I was given an iron brew from Scottish in my bag. Iron brew being the trademark soft drink of Scotland. It's kind of like a cream soda. Some people get orange out of it. Some people get bubblegum out of it. I got cream soda real hard. So I'm enjoying my iron brew. And some scotch that he gave me. He gave me a little gift box of different kinds of scotches. And I had a couple and chased it with the iron brew. And so I get some sleep. I wake up I get my stuff packed. I wait for Scottish to tell me he's ready. And then I pick up my bag, and the Iron Brew had leaked. It had leaked onto the comforter, and I'm like, crap. So I try and rub it out. I tried to clean it up real quick. I still said too much. I'm gonna get heat from Mike Storm here in a second. I tried to clean it up real good, and I felt bad. I couldn't get a hold of the manager, so I couldn't get a hold of the manager, so I just had to pack up and leave. But yeah, it had leaked out, and I was not happy because they have different kinds of lids in Scotland. The lid doesn't come off. It is attached at a hinge. So it comes off to a point, and then it will come open, but it will not come off. That way it doesn't get lost, doesn't create problems in the sewers, it doesn't create litter. It's a good system. It's annoying as fuck. When you're trying to drink out of it, it's annoying. But the Iron Brew was good. So I head back up to Scottish. We get him checked out. And we start heading up the road towards the train station. And he and I, we walk down the street. And here is this church, St. John's Church. And I want you to look at it because it's this immaculate creature with more Gothic design and everything, obviously stone. But it's not what I took this picture for. This is the reason why I took the picture. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children within the sound of my voice. Do you see what's going on down here? For those of you who haven't played Diablo before, these are catacombs. They have cleaned the catacombs out and have made room for businesses. There are businesses in the catacombs of this here church because here's the cemetery. Nope. But yeah, the cemetery's right here and your business is right there. Everywhere in Scotland, they utilize all the space. They don't want to build on their farmland. So they utilize everything that already exists. If it's not currently in use, it's empty. It's either been sold or it's being remodeled. Because every place is either used for rent, used for living in, or used for a business. Nothing goes to waste with these people. And I fell in love. I fell in love almost overnight. And so, okay, where we at? Look at this. This gorgeous clock tower. It's on a hotel. Scottish and I have a real cute story about this clock tower, actually. It's a real fun story. I was talking to him about seeing a clock tower and something that I was looking at, and he goes, there's no clock towers in Edinburgh. And he sends me back a picture of the Will Scott Memorial that I just showed you with the big purple Diablo tower. And the angle during the day, the angle that they shot the picture, this clock tower is dead center underneath of it. And he goes, see, this is the biggest thing in Edinburgh. And I looked at, I just laughed and I said, Scottish, you dingleberry, there's a clock tower in this picture. And I open it up and point to him, and he goes, well, I'll be damned. Because he didn't know he didn't know it was down there because he hadn't been there for 20 years. So, oh man, it was funny. I busted his balls for days about that. All right, so we're walking around Edinburgh, and we're looking for breakfast, and we were going to stop at this place called, I think it's called Greg's. And it's one of these pastry shops that's very, very good. And it was busy. He had a line all the way out to the street. And he's like, we're not going to stay here for this because we're busy. Like, but that's a good sign. The fact that it's busy tells me that it's good. You know, and that's not necessarily true in the States, you know, because McDonald's is always busy and it's fucking poison. But this place has got a line out to the street. Everywhere we went, they had a Greg's had a line out to the street all morning. And he told me a story that he used to commute an hour, I think is what he said, about an hour, just to have his breakfast from Greg's. Yeah, but no. Do not give them your money. Do not add to the poison. Do not encourage more poison. Okay, just don't. So we go to a place that's a little hole in the wall shop, and I walk in and I look at just the coolest pastries, and he himself, Scottish, buys a couple of these. To me, they look like a burrito. But it's like a croissant on the outside, and this pastry has meat inside, and it's not a sausage. It's a meat pastry, and it strikes me as like a corned beef hash without the salt and without the potato. It was just like a corned beef pie, and the way Skies explained it was the reason why they make these things. They had a couple that looked like cannolis. Not cannolis. Well, they didn't have cannolis. They were little itty bitty bastards about that big. I'm like, I want a cannoli, damn it. Not a cannoli. Hold on. Damn it. Calzone. It was like a calzone. But it looked like you'd taken a pie, a full-size pie, you'd folded it over and then sealed the edge. So you had a half of a pie in a pocket, okay? And the way he explained it to me was that the workers use this so they can eat on the move, and the dirty hands can't necessarily get the whole thing filthy, so they can eat while they're moving, eat while they're working, what have you, and then not get the whole thing completely filthy. You don't have to worry about doing this number, and it's just convenient. Not to mention super damn good. I enjoyed the hell out of this. So we bought this, and then the very first project we had to do was buy me a jacket. Strike that. Buy me a coat. Because I didn't take a coat. And where we're at, it is cold. Skies has got a coat on. It's got a fur cowl on it. And a fur lined cowl on it. And, lots of pockets. Very fashionable. And we walk into this place called the Mountain Warehouse. And poor Scottish, he can't tell the women's from the men's, and neither could I. So he had to ask, where's the men's at? And it's like right in front of you boys. So I looked at him, and the first thing I did was I touched him. And I'm like, okay, this is waterproof. This is not, because this is porous and this is shiny, So here we have what I purchased. And there's a picture of this later on in the images, but it's a big, beautiful. I had to buy it with the fur because I wanted to fit in with Scottish. There's a couple of us running around the streets together. Might as well look like we belong. It's got a gazillion pockets, and I love pockets. I love hiding stuff, and it's very, very warm. It kept me warm the entire time. I absolutely love this thing. It was 149 pounds, I believe, is how much it cost me, which is, if you round up, it's like 170, close to $200, but 149 pounds. But it's full of down, and it's waterproof, and it is made for extreme temperatures, designed for adventure, worn worldwide. And obviously, made in China. But you know what? I'm not bitching. It kept me warm the entire time. It's probably one of my favorite fucking things that I own. I will cherish this the rest of my life. I'm in love with it. So we get the jacket. We head out the door. We start wandering down towards hell. What's it called? Towards the train station. Okay. And I'm taking pictures and things as we're going along. I believe this is Hume. Correct me there, Scottish. I know I'm saying it wrong. Is this Hume on top? Maybe not. It's on top of this building. Everywhere you looked, man. This is Waverly? Okay. But everywhere you looked, it was the most beautiful. Oh, yeah. Here's your taxi. Taxi! I had to take a picture of the bubble vehicle. I mean, you don't see round stuff like this in the States. Everything's friggin' square and stupid. But this stuff here, very, very elegant. It is Hume. I was right. All right, cool. Here's the train station. All right. So, look at this ceiling. Look at this ceiling. I can't tell you how gorgeous the scenery was where I was at. Absolutely marvelous. Every single thing was as just look at this. All this the ceilings. But this is a train station. He and I sat at, we wandered through, it was where you bought your tickets and things. Walk past the rail. Oh, yeah. So, Scott, I'm just following Skies like a puppy, okay? I'm just following Skies like a puppy. And I'm looking at pictures, and I'm taking pictures, I'm looking at everything, and I'm just absorbing the view and you know, getting the air is so clean. I cannot tell you. He walks us down past the rail station, and he's telling me this story about where he used to work in this building, and he's talking about how he used to stay up here where these statues are at, and you know, he's going on about it. And we're standing there, and there's this friggin' cannon that goes off from the castle. It goes off, and it's loud. All right, it is friggin' loud. And I'm like, dude, what was that? And he's like, it's the 1 o'clock shot, you know, and the 1 o'clock gun. And it went off, and it was loud. You probably would have heard that thing for miles and miles and miles. And I would have enjoyed being at the edge of that blast, just going, yep, there it is. It was friggin' cool. And he walked me down there just to bait me into being that close when the cannon went off. Of course, it's just you know, the explosion coming out of the cannon. It's not an actual cannonball, but dude, so cool. You know, I got to experience so many things, and I just can't with this stuff. Here's us getting on the train. This Scottish and his fruit juice. We had a conversation about fruit juice later. Did you get on the 5972 to Hogwarts? Not at this junction, no. But if you go back and watch the movie, I was watching number 2 with Vincent the other night, and you see stuff like this all the way through the shot of him going through the rail station. I realized that it was in London at King's Crossing and yada, 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 but you see stuff very, very similar to what I saw on my trip. Okay, here's down we're going into the train. I have never been in a train. This was my grandfather's favorite thing. My grandfather loved trains, and he would have loved this whole experience. Of course, when he fell in love with trains, you can still stick your head out the window. You know, we got an ad coming in 45 seconds. But I took all these pictures because this is the thing that made him excited. And this is very modern, but it's still a train. We'll come back and talk about this after the ad break. But I took pictures of the opposing train sitting there at the station, the rails that were between me and him, and we're sitting at a table in a train. All right, so you imagine like in the movie where they're sitting across from each other with this open space. Well, we're sitting across from each other, but there's this table in between us, so you can put your drinks down, you can play cards, whatever you want to do. It's very cozy. It's very modern, but it's cozy and lots of space. I was very impressed with, this is their mode of travel every single day. And I'm like, sign me up, man. I can do this and never get tired of it. Sit here and just kick back and watch the world go by until I get to my next station. I couldn't do what Scottish did and fall asleep. I'd miss my ride and then have to turn around and come back the other direction. No way, shape, or form would want to fall asleep on a train. You wake up in purgatory trying to figure out how to get home. But we were nice and warm and comfy. And yeah, I've seen Hostel. There was lots of hostels. You did need a nap. You earned it. You earned that nap, brother. Something fierce that day. You earned the nap. I told you to your face I was proud of you. Dude, that was a long, hard walk, and you marched that thing like you owned the place, and you got back to that train and you were done. And I was like, leave that man alone. A tiger sleeps wherever it wants. Yeah, no, he earned it. Absolutely, he earned it, because man, oh man, that's for a different stream. That's for a different stream. Clearly, there's much detail and much to cover. We're still on. This is day 2-ish, right? So day 1 was me arriving. Day 2 was getting up and heading into Perth. All right. This is the beginning of day 2. There's a lot of ground to cover. It was 4 days of some of the most amazing memories and magical things I could ever begin to. Okay, here's one for you, Sandwich. That you, I mean, you're a DJ, but you're maybe not a gamer. When I play, oh, he's doing the ad maybe. I know Scottish is subscribed, but I don't know if Sandwich. I don't think Sandwich did. I know Scottish did. I see the icon there, but I don't know. All right. Oh, you back? Okay, I think he's back now. Welcome back. Okay, cool. So, Sandwich, I realize that you may not be a gamer, but when I play Hogwarts Legacy, there's these these little round disc logos on the wall in some places, and you have to use them for stuff. And it happens in a lot of video games. But we were standing there waiting for that cannon to go off, and I told him that. I said, that little round icon tells me that I need to do something right here. because everything in this place was like that. You just looked around and you felt like you needed to touch it, or you needed to do something with this object. Like, there's a sconce. I need to light this thing on fire. It was so much beauty. And it's all iron and steel and stone and very little wood. If there's wood, it's an accent piece. It's not meant to be structural, okay? But All right, so we're on the train. We're headed towards Perth. And this is just day 2 morning, all right? And that's why I say that these streams have to be as short as I can make them, because there's so much magic here. So much magic. This bridge, and I've learned from reading in the book that Scottish gave me, that was also in my backpack. And yes, I will cover that. Probably have to open it up and find that actual entry so I can not be wrong about it. There is come on. Oh, it's not going to tell me. I'm not going to see it from looking. Oh, there it is. I'm right in it. The Forth Bridges. So, hold on. The bridge across from us is hold on. Firth of Forth. All right, so this is the Firth of Forth, right? That's what they call it. The Firth of Forth. Blackness Castle is somewhere in this particular area, but Queensferry, there's Queensferry, North and South Queensferry is on either end of this bridge here, and I'm looking for the name of this friggin' bridge. Come on. It's not going to tell me. Anyway, the bridge that we're on is, why is the bridge famous? Because it takes forever to paint the thing. The bridge that we're on, not the one in the distance, the bridge that we're on is referred to as the Forth Bridge. And it is red. It is a red bridge. It is, I think it's the only red bridge. So it says the job of painting the bridge was once a daunting, seemingly never-ending task, so much so that, like painting the Forth Bridge, became a way of saying that a job went on forever. Because when you'd finished, you'd have to start over again. So now they got a different kind of bridge. The Forth Road Bridge and Queensferry Crossing. Yes, so way off there in the distance, okay? Way off there in the distance, the one that has the straight cables. Yes, that's a very famous bridge. The structural integrity is very unique. How they did that bridge. Okay. So the book he gave me, and I'm reading it clearly. The book he gave me is fascinating. I've been reading it during my lunch breaks. I have to educate myself if I hope to pass my my Scottish citizenship test. Okay, so I took this picture because, I mean, look at this. This is the Harry Potter crap. This is the stuff you see in the background of Harry Potter. Look at this stuff. It's everything. Everywhere you went, it was immaculate. Now, never mind the chipping paint and the rust. It's made out of steel, and it's older than time, and it's just so beautiful. Right here, you see these tines that are everywhere. That's to prevent the birds from nesting on the edge and pooping everywhere, and from damaging and creating, for creating problems for the structure of anything. But they're all over the place. That prevents them from settling there. It keeps the wood and whatever other edges clean. And the blades don't stick around that way either. They can't roost. They can't even land. Birds shouldn't. Look at this church. Every church. Every single church. I've never taken more pictures of churches. But all this Diablo style stuff, man, check this out. And the stonework, you see how they built it up so high and they capped it off, and they built it up so high and they capped it off, and they just kept growing. The church looks like a castle, for crying out loud. I'm serious. Every one of these churches. You just stand there in amazement at how beautiful. You can't help it. Look at this thing. So we're in Perth in the middle of the night, right? Oh man, I got Perth stories for days. But I gotta get us up to dinner, okay? All right. So we get off the train. We get up the road, and it's Scottish's turn to make the wrong move. He walked in the wrong direction. It was his turn, and he walked in the wrong direction. And I'm like, yeah, it's not that far from the rail station. So we double back. We cut across the road. We go back, and sure enough, there's our hotel right there on the other side of the overpass. And hey, this is funny. The hotel is on a hill, on an incline, about like yay. And I look at Scottish and I'm like, God damn it, I can't do anything right, can I? So he's got to climb up all, this high incline, dragging his bags behind him. And I felt like this big, because I'm like, God bless America, I can't win. But man, it was funny. So, we get in there and we get checked in, and they hand us keys. Sandwich. I don't know how old you are, son, but today's day and age, little badges, badge. They handed us keys with a giant gold friggin' fob on the end of it, and they have, the rooms have names, and I just kind of went, oh, I screwed up. How did I get this hotel? The rooms have names. I messed up. Nah, I didn't mess up, except for the fact that there's also no lift in this hotel, and he's got to drag his bags upstairs again. So I looked at the guy. I only simply based this off the fact that my room was a few feet higher than his room. And I looked at the guy and I said, "Excuse me, are the rooms identical?" And he goes, "Practically." And I went, "Good. He can stay in the one in the middle of the building. I'm going to stay in the one at the very top." All right. He just kind of switches the keys. So I take him up to his room, get him in. I go over to my room, get myself in. And I'm glad I did, because the room has a set of stairs leading down to the bathroom. And I looked at myself and I went, that was a very good move. He'd have been miserable in this place, because the stairs to the bathroom, it was on a different level. And don't ask me why, don't ask me how it works, but it was a beautiful room. The room was beautiful, the bed was beautiful, the freaking bath. I got pictures of the bathroom for the next stream. So we get checked in, we get settled, we get our crap, we head downstairs, and we're talking to the guy about where we want to go. He's like, "Hey, how do we get to this restaurant?" He goes, "Let's just follow the GPS on your phone." And I'm like, "Sir, I don't have a signal, and neither does he." And he goes, "You're bloody serious?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're doing this the old-fashioned way." He walks us over to the table and gives us an old-fashioned map, a local map of Perth, and he says, "You are here." This is also where I was like this friggin' tall. "You are here. Your restaurant is over here." Absolutely 180 degrees the other side of the town. And I just like, this is going to be the longest friggin' day of my life. I'm wearing Scottish out just because I booked this thing the way I did. So we head out down the street, and we're doing this like the Hobbit. I've got a map in my hand, and we're marching towards Mordor. Just as friggin' hard as we can go. And so we march through the streets and the back alleys and the side streets of Perth till he gets me down to about where we can start looking at stuff. Actually, I'm the one giving the tour at this point because he's just like, where are we going? So I'm going, doing this dog leg thing, trying to create the shortest amount of walking for him, and I'm trying to see things at the same time. And I took a gazillion pictures, but we passed this church. Look at this stained glass. Look at this. Everything I came to, I felt like a tourist. I'm pointing like a rude American. And I'm like, you want me to do knife hands? I can do knife hands. He's like, no, you're fine. Just friggin' point. So, all the road is stone. All the road is brick. Okay? All the road is brick. Every direction you look in. And it looks like this. Everywhere. Everywhere. It is the most gorgeous scenery. People live up here. Business is done down here. I am thrilled. Look at this. Here's a nice little mural of the Loch Ness Monster. I couldn't help it. I had to take a picture of the mural. It was very pretty. Here's me in all my glory. Okay. My little Eric Cartman hat. I had Scottish take this picture for me because I didn't, I barely ever take pictures of myself. But walking down the streets of Edinburgh, I was getting looked at, not because I was out of place. Maybe I look good. I don't know. I think I look good. I think I look damn good. I'm happy with it. Here's one of the taverns we passed. Right. Thank you. Just a beautiful sign. So here is the window of the restaurant we want to eat at. Okay? Yes. Here is the window of the restaurant we want to eat at. And I'm looking at this window and I'm like, man, this is cool. We don't belong in here. This is really cool. Look at this. There's no reason why I belong in here. Okay? It's like, man, this is beautiful. And so the restaurant wasn't open yet. We walked down some more back alleys and could find a place to sit and just kind of meandered around a couple of streets and just eyeballing and taking a few more pictures of this, that, and the other. Here's something we found. In this vicinity stood the Castle of Perth, destroyed by a flood in 1210 AD. We're in 2024, and I wasn't even born yet. I think Scottish might have been 2 or 3 years old. But at this point, there is history in every square inch of this territory, and they want you to respect it. They want you to be aware of it. They're like, hey, I don't care who you are. I don't care what year this is, but you need to know that where you're standing is an important place in history. All right, so we get to the restaurant at about opening time, and we go in the restaurant, And they, the little girl in there, she says, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we got just a table for two." She goes, "You got a reservation?" And I was like, we did not think of that. But considering it's just open and there's nobody here, I'm willing to bet it's not dinner time for the locals. So she goes, "Let me go back and look at the books." She goes back, looks at the book. Yes, the restaurant is called the North Port. Yes. And she goes back, looks at the books, comes back, and she says, "Listen, boys, I've got a table over here, and I need it back at 7 o'clock." Well, it's 5 o'clock now. And I need it back at 7 o'clock. And Sky's just like, "Oh, yeah, that's easy. We can do that. No problem." Um, so, so we get seated, and we're right in front of this fireplace. And if this is not the most Harry Potter friggin' thing I've ever seen in my life, it's a fireplace full of wax and candles. And I took a little video for you guys. I'm thinking about putting this on my desktop and just making it a loop. I could sit and watch this for hours. We're sitting there and we're just having a blast, taking in the ambience. Okay. It was beautiful, and we didn't belong in there. I ordered a drink, and I'm a big fan of Pilsner. My grandmother, married obviously to the grandfather who likes the trains. My grandmother was a big fan of Duke's beer back in the 70s and 80s. And so Pilsner, being German, this is my thing. So this is a local Pilsner, comes from Scotland, might even be from Perth, but it was good. It was every bit of a Pilsner, and it was fantastic. I would like to have one right now, actually. We ordered our appetizer and our meals, and looking back on it, I should have ordered more, but let me explain. So they bring us this bread. Here's your butter. Here's this fresh baked bread that blows your mind how soft and real this bread is. And this stuff here, she used the word rapeseed. We can't use rapeseed in America because everybody's so damn soft. But this is some canola oil, whipped topping, spreadable topping. It was very savory. Goes on your bread if you don't want the butter. I ate the whole damn thing. Well, not all the whipped topping, but I ate this whole section here all by myself. Because Sky's is saving room for his meal. Here's the haggis sandwich. Haggis step 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you haggis. Here we are. Now hold on, sandwich, hold on. Do not knock this creature until you've tried it. All right? Let me explain. Let me explain, because I didn't understand it. You got your haggis on the left. You got your turnips in the middle. You got your potatoes on the right. All right. You got your nuts on top there for garnish. You're never ever supposed to eat the haggis straight by itself. It is not designed that way. It is designed to accent things, and things accent it. So you eat it with other things. In this case, you take this little scoop of potato, a little scoop of your turnips, and a little scoop of haggis. And you put it all in your mouth at the same time. And let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Having had it over here out of a can, I understood it a little better. But the way it's laid out here is got a completely different flavor profile. If you just have potato with the haggis and the turnip with the haggis, it's different flavor profile. And No two haggises are alike. This restaurant makes its own haggis. It doesn't buy haggis out of a can. The local butcher makes his own haggis. The next restaurant makes their own haggis. You do not get haggis out of a can. Much like the Italians do not get their spaghetti sauce out of a jar, you do not get your haggis out of a jar either. And I loved every minute of it. I'm glad that I had it in the States so I understood what I was tasting. Sure enough, each one is a little bit different. A little bit of spice in some places, a little bit sweet in others. And this is an appetizer, folks. This is not the main course. So I had this guy here. Here, Scottish had his appetizer, which I'm going to say the word wrong. It wasn't pheasant. It wasn't pigeon. What the hell was it? What the hell was that? It starts with a P, and I can't think of the frickin' word now. But it's chicken. It's not pheasant. Son of a grouse. Yeah, it was grouse. Okay. So, it was pheasant. All right, I was right. I thought it was something else. Maybe we talked about something else. Maybe we talked about a different bird. But so here is his pheasant, and it's got this chutney collection of goods underneath it. So he gave me this piece here in the middle. This piece here he gave to me to try, and boy, that was good. I never had pheasant. It was very, very good, very tasty. Now, I want to explain something else before I continue down this road. Number one, this was a 5-star restaurant. Number one. Number two, in the land of Scott, they eat properly still. All right? So you saw the picture earlier with the silverware laid out. Scottish had to explain it to me because I'm doing the stupid American thing and I'm just, using my tools. You have to eat properly. The man could have picked up that drumstick and crammed it in his face just like I would have. He picked up his fork and knife and he cut that thing like a grown-ass man. And I was a little bit taken aback by it because, again, being a dumbass American, I'm just, I use my tools to shovel my shit. I got hands. I'm just going to pick it up and eat it. I had to learn real quick some proper table manners and what the utensils were, where the dessert spoon goes versus where you got the small tools for the appetizer, you got your big tools for the main course, and you do not want to mix the two. If you're not meant to eat something with utensils, they don't give you utensils. If you are supposed to eat it with a different kind of utensil, they will bring it to you. Yeah, dude, it was refreshing. It was refreshing to deal with proper etiquette, to deal with politeness, to deal with, I crave that. I crave that very, very much. I want to be part of something that's not rude and gross and stupid, It's a slower pace of life. I learned through Scottish, because he flat told me one day, he says, you're going to have to slow down. And I'm like, yes, sir. And he's like, listen, I used to move like that. You've got to bring yourself down. You're not here. You're 2 moves ahead. You're not thinking about where you're standing. You're not really absorbing anything. And he taught me real quick to live again. All I had to do was come back down to his pace. And I have not gone back. I can turn it on right now. It's a time and place. But I have not gone back to the rush, the push, the constant buzz. I want to live. And he taught me how to live. Yes, very much so. So much so that I want out of the cage. I went out of the cage as soon as I can get out of the cage. I am more than willing to give whatever it takes to go end up in Scotland. Because this way of life is bullshit. I want out. So I learned to sit and eat properly. I learned to sit and absorb. Put your damn tools down. Sit and absorb the meal. Which I try to tell Mini Vinny all the time, not to eat fast. Because we're so used to, going to school and cramming the shit down your neck and going back to class. You go to work, you cram the shit down your neck and go back to work. That's no way to either A, eat, B, enjoy a meal, or C, be alive. And I cannot express to you that that's one of the gifts that Scottish gave me that I am not going to let go of. You have to slow down. You have to enjoy. You have to live. And I got an ad break coming again here in a second. But he did. He taught me to slow my ass down. And I'm running with it. This is hard as fast as I can go, but at my own pace. Because now I'm sentient again. I'm enjoying life again. I'm enjoying the small things that I thought I'd never enjoy again. And it's a miracle. So let me get the ad break over with, and we'll keep going up the road. But yeah, let's get this ad break in. And we'll talk about this meal. We're almost to the end of this, I swear. It's close. Oh man. Yep, go. You're good. Scottish, I was really hoping for a bigger crowd. I might have some lurkers in the background that I'm not aware of, and that's great. But I was really hoping for a bigger crowd. But hopefully we post this one. And like I said, I'm going to bait people because the Loch Ness thing's is coming up. And that's the big money maker. That's the big pop. That's the apex. That's your double down right there. That's the big move. So that's not the finish. That's just the apex part of the match. And I want my people to come and sit. Oh, brother, you haven't heard half the conversation I've been having around here. I'm dead serious. I am absolutely dead serious. And my ex-wife is not happy. And my friends are not happy. Because they've known me my whole life. A couple of them here, especially my boss, is very upset that I'm getting out. I want no more to do with this. Whether it's America, this job, what have you. I'm a changed human. So as we get Sandwich back, so we can finish up this stream. One thing, well, we're going to talk about the life change here momentarily. But one thing I do want that's materialistic is I want that tower. I want a tower that I could play games on and not. There he is. Welcome back. Because I tried having the Discord up and playing a game that I downloaded to the laptop so that it would run faster, and I was running at 100% CPU. 100% CPU. Between that camera, Discord, and the game, I've maxed out my my laptop, and I'm not doing anything different. So there's just not enough power here. And I want to be able to stream games, and I can't do that off of this thing. Not properly anyway. I don't want to hurt Tim's feelings because Tim, you know, we've done what we can. But anyway, this here sandwich was the main course for me. I ordered duck breast. I wanted to have something outside of my cultural and normal diet. It looks like steak because it was cooked. It's cooked like steak. It is a medium rare. Okay. These cool little crisps that was here, and then this salad is also burnt, or what do you want to call it? It was not really burnt. It was charred on a grill or in a skillet. This is cool sauce to dip everything in, and it's got these little beads of goodness. He gave me one of his chips right here, but these little beads of goodness that you could dip things in. Dude, everything went with the duck, and much like the haggis, you don't just cram it in your face. See, here at home, I'm kind of difficult. I like to eat, like what I don't like early, and then finish it up with what I do like. These flavors and the way they lay these things out is designed to be eaten together. So that's why it is what it is. But I love this so much. You put your tools down and you savor the flavor, and you enjoy the moment. Scottish, however, had the ribeye, and he had the chips on the side, and he had this roasted tomato, and then this little thing here he did not care for at all. It was some sort of concoction supposed to go with the steak, or it was supposed to go with the chips. I don't know, but he didn't care for that at all. I tried it. It was savory for me. He said it was too salty. He did not care for that. Wouldn't do it again. I would have eaten it, but of course I didn't eat anything. And then here, this steak is very thin. They don't eat great big monster steaks like we do here in the States. And I had a steak later on in the journey, which will be on a later stream. This guy here is a local animal. It's grass-fed, pasture-raised, grass-finished. There's no grain in their food. They don't put grain in their animals. They don't put grain on their plate. All right. The only thing I've seen that's been grain so far has been the porridge, which is oats, and I can't explain to you enough how great it was to enjoy a different flavor from a different part of the world. So I took this footage here. There's my mead. What I was doing was I was trying to get the voices of the people behind me. There's a restaurant name. The steak was from the Black Isle across the water from my hometown. But yeah. I took it more for my mother to hear the people talking. But, I thought I'd share this clip with you guys. Here was my dessert. Sandwich, let me tell you something, brother. I have had some things in my life. This thing was good. Dude. So, these different kinds of chocolate, different kinds of textures. All right, you got your soft. I thought it was cheese. It's not cheese. It's just a white chocolate. Okay, white chocolate with this wonderful ganache. The crumbled crumbs of chocolate, and then these slivers of a chocolate sugary substance. Yeah, no, me too. And then in the center of this was more of this stuff like right here. So when you cut into it, of course, the frame was a solid chocolate. The top was a drizzle, of white chocolate. And then the inside was this gooey lava thing. It wasn't hot. It was just a goo. And good Lord, man, I was in love. It went well with my meal. Scottish watched me eat it because he was stuffed. He didn't have any more room. I tried to get the man to eat as many desserts as he wanted. Whatever you want, brother, you eat because you earned it. So yeah, it was quite the treat. I cannot wait to go back. I will. I think from Edinburgh, I'll just start running towards the North Port just so I can have this meal again. But like I said, I'm going to order 5 of these and 8 of those and probably 16 of these things because, boy, they're good. And that is a genuine smile on my face. I started to detox from my entire life just from this one experience on day one of my first full day in Scotland. Okay, I was becoming a different person at this point, let alone the rest of the journey. Okay, I'm not saying this lightly when I say that this trip cleansed my energy. And for those of you who want to say it that way, this trip cleansed my soul. I came back, I don't have any anger, I don't have any rage, I don't have any anxiety, I don't even react to anything anymore. I don't get angry at the drop of a hat. I cooked today. I spilled things. I dropped things where I would usually be cussing and throwing stuff and bitching under my breath. Man, I am in a different place in my life. And I'm going to hold on to that just as long as I possibly can. Okay? I I I have shed more tears of joy than I have ever shed in my life, and all the hardships that I've endured in the rough several years that I've had, especially these last few during COVID, but it it has undone so much damage that I cannot put into words how grateful I am to Scottish, how grateful I am to Scotland for giving me my life back. I sat here earlier today, Sandwich, and I played Hogwarts just a little bit, and I was doing the beast class, and where you do a magic and you scrub the pets and you feed them, and I'm just like giggling because it's like this is kind of cute, you know. Uh, I have hugged my boy and hugged my little girl more and more than I've ever hugged them. Um, I have thrown away things that have had value in the past that it does not have any value to me now. If I can't sell it, or I can't take it with me, or I can't give it away to someone who would appreciate it, I'm throwing it in the trash. Okay. Um, PC Build Simulator is my comfy game. Hey, if it makes you happy, it's not stupid. Okay. Build me one, and then tell me what I need to buy because I want a tower. I really need a tower. Um, hey, if it makes you happy, brother, you know, More power to you. But I I gotta tell you guys, yours is a pre-built. Okay. Well, I have to get a tower because I want to run my games. You have a Costco. Yeah, they got Costco out here. I don't think I've got a membership. I think I got to go to Indianapolis to find one. But yeah, we got Costco out here. Um, but gotta get a membership. Um, Leading up to the next stream. Okay, so we're still in Perth on stream on day 2 of Perth. Okay, so with that we go from Perth to Inverness. Inverness. It's 3 syllables, Vinny. Inverness. Um, we go from Perth to Inverness, and then from Inverness down to uh, I can't say it. I want to. I can say it when I'm not thinking about it. We go down to Loch Ness, and in the next stream, I will detail how Scotland cleansed my soul when I put my hands in Loch Ness. I I have never been so totally just purged of all everything like I was when I touched the water. I got to put my hands in Loch Ness, and I will show the video that I shot for MiniViddy, and I'll go into more detail in that stream. But I got to see the Highland Coup. I got to see where the Loch Ness Museum is. I got to see Urquhart Castle. And we make that trip up. We come back, and then we head out to Stirling Castle, which is a whole different stream. But we'll go into Loch Ness next time. I'm gonna pour because my buddy Scottish he did sub Urquhart. I'm sorry. It's got a Q in it. It throws me off because I'm a gringo. Oh goodness. There it is. He Scottish subscribed earlier, so I have to drink in honor of my good friend Scottish. This is the bottle I bought from Scotland, the 15-year Dalmore. Oh, God bless America. I would love Scottish on one of these days where he's playing Fortnite and is able to talk to me. We need to talk about some of the rules and regulations of Scotland, because so much of what goes on there made me fall in love. Yes, we should. Yes, we should. We should all get together and play some Lego Fortnite, baby. We all should. Things like, I mean, they're just absolutely, they scream freedom. And one of those things is the land of Scotland. Oh, me too, brother. Me too. Don't feel bad. I don't stream because I'm good. I stream because I want company. Okay. The land of Scotland belongs to the people. So no matter where you are, if you're backpacking through the country and a storm comes down and you need shelter, or it gets to be late and you're not to your destination and you've gotten lost, you're off your mark, and you need a place to stay for the evening. Anywhere in the land of Scotland, as long as you do not damage the land or the property, you are permitted to seek shelter in place where it is needed. Even if you're going through a castle that you got to pay money to see, it is in the land of Scotland. It is yours to shelter in. Okay? So the fences mean nothing. The hedgerows mean nothing. Your land means nothing. It's if you're a big celebrity, if you're a politician, doesn't matter. This is Scottish people's territory. And that is so heartwarming. I can't begin to describe for you what it feels like to be in the presence of those kinds of people. Everyone I met on the road was absolutely outstanding. There was that one guy at the hotel. He's kind of a stick in the mud, but the majority of the people were absolutely. You could strike up a conversation with anybody. No one's telling you to shut up. No one's telling you to be quiet. No one's yelling at you, telling you you're wrong. It was refreshing. And I talked to Scottish for hours on that train, and I'm sure everybody in that train car was sick of hearing me talk. But no one stopped me. That's freedom. Okay? And that's one of a number of things that made me fall in love with Scotland. Whether it was the clean water, and every bit of that water was clean, the clean air, the clean land. And we were off the beaten trail. And Scottish pointed out, say, hey, I can take you to places that I know in like Glasgow that are really, really run down, that are full of people who are homeless. But we were everywhere in Scotland, and we saw some fake homeless people, but I didn't see any major debris like you see in the States where everything's garbage and trash. Another thing that sticks with me, and I know I'm going long and I'm sorry, but another thing that sticks with me that changed me was the fact that when you order something on like an Amazon, it's going to cost you more to get the damn thing to your house from the port than it'll ever cost you to buy that product either already on the land or to make it yourself. Because they don't literally put a tariff so much on other countries, they put a tariff on their own people. Because it's like, do you really need this damn thing? Because if you do, you're going to pay out the nose for it to get it to your house. The non-materialism, bringing people back to reality, that you don't need it that bad or you're going to pay for it. Your choice. And I'm already starting to live my life that way. I was collecting equipment for the butcher shop. I was collecting, stuff for the stream. I was, collecting stuff for here. Vincent, Sissy, it's all meaningless. It's all meaningless. The Scots teach you to live for the moment. They teach you that the little things matter. I'm reading these books, and they talk about the little things and how it's important. So I am a changed human being, and I hope, because Sandwich has seen me stream before, and Scottish has been in my presence in the stream 1,000 times. My demeanor is very much different than I was before I left. I don't cuss nearly as much as I used to. It's accent pieces now, man. It's not every other word. Before I left, I was so full of rage. Yeah, I'm working on work. I haven't shaved since I left for Scotland. Okay, I brought the razor with me. Look at this. Okay, I brought the razor. I brought the razor with me, but I didn't use it. And until I got to do a job interview, I'm probably going to keep all this. I'll likely keep the goatee as long as I can, but all this stuff here is very sparse because my health has been terrible as far as being an American, and I'm working on it. I'm doing treatments like it's like a rosemary oil, and you got the micro needler that helps supposed to help your follicles activate, but I can't think of everything every day. But thank you for saying that. Um, I'm 1,000% serious when I say that I want to be happy in my life, and Scotland made me happy. I was a butcher once, and I was good at it, and it made me happy. The tools, the training, the skills, the memories, the abilities, the talking with people, the conversation with the butcher is the next stream. Okay, but uh, but being able to be a butcher again would make me happy, and I want to be happy. So I'm not happy here, and every time I think of putting my hands in the lock, I get a smile on my face. Every time I think about Scottish and I walking down the street in the middle of the night, telling stories, and talking to each other, it makes me happy. Here's another thing, Sandwich. I looked around the restaurant, every restaurant we went to. We sat in coffee. We sat in several coffee shops, he and I, and had conversation. No one's looking at their phones. All right, you had a few people here and there, like Americans, that were looking at their phones, but people are actually conversing and having conversations. You didn't see someone walking down the street with their face in a screen. It was so wonderful to be part of that. Yes, yes, you are correct. So I have a lot of training to do. I have a lot of study. I have a lot of relearning because I was anti phone transactions, but everyone uses their phone to do transactions. Um, I was anti a lot of things. The surveillance systems, whatever it was. Uh, uh, but Scotland opened my eyes that a lot of what I've been told, everything I've been told, has either been fear mongering or lies. And I refuse to continue to live like this. Your job as a parent is to do what is right for your children. And I may not be able to take Minnie Vinny with me to Scotland to start his life until he gets to be older. And that's going to break me that I had to spend time away from him. But if I can get my foothold in Scotland and give him a place to go where he's actually free, that's more important. Yeah, that one got me. Cause I was trying to put it in the machine and it read my card without touching it. And I'm like, the hell just happened here? It did. Boop. What? Yeah, it threw me off. It threw me off bad. It was kind of funny. But so yeah, so the next stream we're gonna go from Perth to Inverness, and then from Inverness to Dundee, and then we're gonna talk about all the things that happened at the lock. So hopefully next stream we get a bigger crowd because I'm gonna bring on the bits and bobs that I brought with me. Um, where are we at? Nope. Nope. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about the trip to Inverness, and we gotta talk about my kilt. The kilt is at the end of the stream, guys. I'm holding out with the kilt to the end of the stream. There's a fedora involved. There's kilt. There's the sporran. There's the Highlander shirt. We have a lot of ground to cover. So with this ad coming up, we need to shut things down. So, Mr. Sandwich, I absolutely appreciate your presence here. I want to thank you for sitting with me the entire time. I want to thank Scottish for all that he's done for me. I cannot ever repay you, sir. Ever. And then Mike Storm dropped in to say hi, and my brother Felix came in to say hi. So Scottish Tiger is a legend. He will be talked about for generations to come. It'll be written down for them to repeat. I'm putting it in Vinny's baby book. So here's to you, my friend. God bless you. May the stones always be warm wherever you sleep, my friend. All right. I'm out. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Remember, no matter what goes on in the world, you're always welcome here at the mob. We're here. We're family. I love you. You're important, and I'm proud of you. Arrivederci, baby. We'll see you next time.